What's up? What's up? Yeah, Brownie, everybody hears you. Hold on, let's play this song so I can do what I gotta do at the beginning of the show.
This is a test of the emergency broadcast system.
You are now witnessing the Eddie Block and Incredible Show.
Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side, ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 minds for the trolls. Let's roll.
Hi, Willow, you
It's
got
the
Digger
Eddie
there?
Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side, ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know.
Are you guys
Yo,
together?
Drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got
cold
50
is
minds
it?
for the trolls. Let's roll. Drunk and Eddie, Carol, keep him in check.
My
Along
eye
with
is
John
messing up
Wick
bad
and
today.
Steve Pence. Johnny Yuma, he got the right diet. Mr. Nice Guy, looking heavy, I might try it. Maddie
Oh,
Courtney,
tomorrow.
Evo Knievel,
Why did I think that was
all over
today?
the road is coming back for his people. Come get some Jay, yeah, trade for Trump. We all love Willow Pie, Brit got the plug. What's up to Kim Toe?
What's up,
I got
Hope?
to say hello to Julius Newman, Ringo Brothers, me Vato, Emily Graham. got
What's up,
the Rico like
Sagittarius?
Vato. Jim Bob the silly guy.
Hold on,
Deborah
dude, I'm
said
doing the
Vato.
stuff I
Gene
gotta do.
Spratt,
Give me a
Gene Smith,
second.
don't confuse him. Boris might snap off, he's sick of this looting. Richard will pull up and give retribution. So
you
don't
outside
break,
and just
break
got
up Dawn
cold?
and the Susan. Solomon, following Patriot movements. Brianna, the truth. Muse
Too
like
much
Bruce.
to do.
Danny Huddy, saying what's up on the daily now. No, we don't play around. These minds just might lay you out. If you wild out, Carol,
Dang,
put
Ken,
you in
that's
time
early.
out. You can come test the chat and find out if you're anti or BLM. You can ride out. Yo, it's the Eddie Block Show.
I can't see out of my left eye
Side,
today.
ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 minds for the trolls. Let's roll. What's up,
Yeah, my left eye is
Indian,
messing up.
Colorado,
What's up, dog?
Nagasaki, Dar, and Nicole. We all proud Americans, got rides
You're on the
Harley.
bus.
Bill Maga,
Right
sheepdog,
on.
I never sorry. Listen the future, Matt Rogers and AI.
I know, Hope, right?
Got ready to kill him, we stay fly. Ryder and AAL are here. Yo, drunk uncle, slam another beer.
What else do I gotta do?
Teresa and Josephine, all patriots, yeah, we know the
Oh, well.
team. Diaz brothers keeping
This'll
the
make me
eyes
feel
peeled.
better.
Biden sucks, yeah, we seen the steal. Lisa D and AJ Alexander, my love and my mini-me, you my man, bro. Penelope, DJT and Sugar and Brownie and Panda and Roosters.
Oh.
Bree and Al from Idaho. Browns and Dorothy ain't no rhinos.
Where you going, Gilded, or where you coming from?
Shady links. If I write another verse, Corey's paying me. Cajun Marine Offlet, David Aguilar. Yeah, we some mega stars. Eden, Daisy, and Kelly. Titty 1, titty 2. It's time to rally.
I like 'em both. I like 'em
It's the Eddie
both.
Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side. Ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we
Give
got
him a
50
treat.
minds
Oh,
for the
drunk
trolls.
uncle's
Let's
here
go.
already.
Yo, it's the Eddie
Wow.
Block Show. Drunk uncle on the side. Ready, let's go. Hey, it's the Eddie Block Show. If you agree or disagree, let them know. Yo, drunk uncle, drink more. We got 2 hours to chat like strange animals. Eddie Block and drunk uncle are great hosts, and we got 50 miles for the trolls. Let's roll.
What's up, Indico Nicole? Yeah, your name's on here. Oh, you're heading up from work at the smoke shop? Did you know that Gilden works at a smoke shop like you, drunk? Except drunk uncle owns his. Uh-oh, we're in trouble. Snookies is here. Shit, that's right. I forgot to message Joe Biggs.
Keep on watching, keep on listening, don't pay attention. Woo! 2021, we're in the house, trucks coming back, baby. Conservative.
card just in time for the holidays.
You forgot the one in the chamber!
Best Buy just upgraded me from a Best Buy card to a straight-up Visa, it looks like. Oh, holy shit, and they upped my credit limit. Wow. Fucking, we're gonna be getting some camera equipment. You know me, I can't help but go shopping. I'm a fucking shopper. You don't like it, then go fuck yourselves. Just kidding.
I do love Best Buy. I don't even have to buy anything. I just go in there and
walk around. Yeah.
Try to sell people Apple computers.
You try and sell people Apple computers? Do they sell Apple shit at Best Buy? I never go inside.
Yeah, they have like a little Apple section.
Ah, I got you. I don't know. Dude, my left eye is totally fucking up on me today.
Oh, yeah?
I had an MRI this morning on my head, so maybe... And it's because of my left eye. I wanted the MRI fucked me up even more.
Mm.
It was weird. Like, so I took my THCO today because I didn't want to take regular THC because I didn't want to freaking... You know, I had to drive still. And I don't ever take freaking... what do you call it? I don't ever take the sativa. I'm always a indica guy, so can't drive on it. But I'm sitting there. I don't know if I was tripping out maybe or what, because I'm sitting there and they're doing a head CT, right? So you still got to go all the way in that freaking tube, or I mean an MRI. And I'm trying to close my eyes because when you do your brain, they have to put something around your head too. So you're not just stuck like this. They also put the freaking thing over your head. So I close my eyes, and like as the machine's going, like you know how whenever they're doing a show and they try to show electronic connections, so it's like a whole bunch of lightning in the sky. I was seeing that in my eyes, but it was purple and it was green sometimes, changed with the colors. I wonder if I was just tripping out on the freaking THCO, or if that was actually because I was in an MRI machine and all these fucking electrical magnetic currents are going through me.
Did you taste anything weird? I think I had either an MRI or a CAT scan a long time ago, and they shot me up with something so they could like follow the medicine or something, but I tasted like pennies.
Oh yeah, that's it's the contrast they use. But see, I'm allergic to it, so I don't have to get a contrast one. So
I got you.
So because whenever like the last 2 times they tried to give me the contrast, like Don says with contrast, the minute it went through the IV, fucking threw up everywhere. I'm allergic to that stuff. So they can't do it like that. It's cool though, and like the girl, like it's weird. So the girl, I was like, all right, she's all right looking. And I'm like looking at her longer. And I'm like, yeah, probably not. And then she just started talking to me. And it went from, you ever have that to where you think a girl's not very good looking, but then you actually talk to her. And then you're like, wow, she's actually pretty. Not because of her looks, but because of the way she was talking. I think I was flirting too.
Alcohol with me.
Huh?
Generally happens when alcohol is involved with me.
Oh, when alcohol is involved with me, I flirt with everybody. Everybody's my best friend. So, yeah. Dang, I wonder what time Digga has to get up to fly. Well, she's on the East Coast, so she doesn't have to get up that early. But if she's landing at Willows at 10, that means it's a 5-hour flight, 3-hour difference. That still means she had to leave by like 6. I mean, leave by 8. So then you got to be at the airport 2 hours early. Yeah, she got to get up early. What's up, Andy?
Well, she's used to that. She used to being up at like 3:34 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, the first round's on Willow.
Like, she would leave the chat and go to sleep, and sometimes pop back in when we had those like real late casts. She was like, "Yeah, I'm up for the day." I'm like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, because she gets up and makes her husband's breakfast for him and kisses him goodbye to work. You know. Women still do that, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know. So when I was married, we had to move in with my in-laws because they were having issues and stuff. With because my bro, I always say it wrong. My father-in-law, he he got hurt, or he had some kind of disease, and he couldn't work anymore, and so they had trouble paying the bills. So we moved in to help him out, and that's when I owned my own plumbing company. And I remember getting up. I had this old ass diesel truck, so I go outside. I start my diesel truck up. I walk inside and make my lunch, and her dad was always asleep. And then this one day, you know, her dad's out there, and he's like, "Boy, what the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I gotta make my lunch." And he's like, "Boy, get your fucking wife out here to make your fucking lunch." You know, my wife was real bitchy in the morning. I was like, "Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll make my own lunch." So the next day I get up at 6 o'clock, I start my truck, and I'm making my lunch. And I come back inside to make my lunch, and there's my ex-wife. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" She's like, "My dad said I better fucking make your lunch or else." Because, you know, they're old school Mexican, you know, so you have to do that shit. It was funny, like, she's not a cleaner at all, and neither was I. Well, neither am I. And, like, whenever the house will get, like, too dirty, you know, I don't mind if we're both working, but when I'm the only one working, making all the money, I'll be like, you know, the fucking house is kind of a mess. And she's like, "Yeah, whatever, I'll get to it." Like, fucking, "I'm going to invite your dad over." She's like, "Why?" I was like, "Because then he'll make you fucking clean the house up." I kind of miss that.
Yeah, my grandmother, I don't think she's really ever had to work a day in her life. And oddly enough, I don't even think she's ever had to put gas in her own car.
Really?
I don't even think she would know how to do it. You know, she's older, definitely older now. I think she's like 92.
Yeah. Okay, come on.
But even whenever I was younger, you know, the whole reason I'm in business is because of my grandfather. You know, he was always doing his own thing. You know, he owned a trucking company and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't ever remember him even making his own plate of food.
Really?
Yeah, like the plate would be made for him and brought to him.
Yeah.
But he worked very, very hard.
Well, because that's how it was in his family too. It's old school, and especially in like an old school Mexican family, like I was married into, it was definitely like that. When we were dating, her dad would like, the mom was like, "Hey, dinner's ready," and I'm like, "Cool," you know. I get up and fucking Pop's like, "What the fuck are you doing, boy?" You know, he always called me boy for some reason. I don't know why. Whenever he's mad at me, I was like, "Mom said dinner's ready." He's like, "You make your fucking girlfriend get your goddamn dinner." I was like, "Okay." And then after I got married, we had a party when I thought she graduated college, you know, and my mom's there, and she's like, "Well, they said dinner's ready. Why aren't you getting up to go get your dinner?" I'm like, "Why should I? Angela's gonna get it." And my wife's like, "What do you mean Angela's gonna get your fucking dinner?" I was like, "Cause if I don't, her dad'll get mad." And she's like, "What?" And so I start to get up, and all of a sudden here, "What you doing, boy?" My mom and her dad were like, you know, because my mom's not old school like that. I mean, she is, but not when it comes to that.
Yeah.
When you go to my mom, when my mom was alive and you showed up here, she'd be like, "Look, the fucking fridge is right there. The bathroom's over there. The washer's there. Whatever the fuck you want, you can get it your damn self." That was my house. Thanks, Ultimate.
Yeah, man.
Right? My mom wasn't no cleaner. Heck no. The only time my mom cleaned is when the maid would come, or not, I don't know, what do you call it? The cleaning lady would come. She'd fucking pound on my door in the morning, and I was like, "What?" She's like, "Is your bedroom clean?" I'm like, "Why? The cleaning lady's coming today." She's like, "Fucking clean it." I was like, "Don't we pay her to clean the house? We don't want her to think we're messy." Oh, the joys of being kind of well off when you're in school. Willow's like, "I'm an old school cook, clean, work." I know. When I went to Willow's house, freaking, we sat at the table. She had brisket. She had pie. I loved it. It was great at her house. Plus, she's like in the middle of nowhere. Oh, my mom worked her ass off. My mom was a hard worker. Definitely. Ton says, "I serve dinner, snacks, drinks, whatever is asked of me, as long as when I don't feel like it, he does." I gotcha. No, it wasn't the problem. See, my wife was never a hard worker. she was a liberal. I got married in 2009. I didn't know what I was politically. You know, I was just a guy in love. So we got married. Then slowly but surely it started building up. Like, oh, how come you're only working 4 hours a week? Oh, how come the house is a mess when I come home from work? You know? Oh, what do you mean you're all for abortion? Like, when she told me that, I flipped out. I'm like, aren't you fucking Catholic? We go to Catholic church.
The only time, or probably one of the first times that somebody made a plate for me, it was very shocking because it was somebody that's relatively famous within the electronic community, and hence the reason why I have a thing for Persians.
Mm-hmm. What's up, hot
But we had Rabbit and Moon come in, and their fire dancer Gila was
that girl
Iranian.
you fell in love with?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And we went to this restaurant called Cosmos, which is like a Greek restaurant.
Cool, girl.
And they have tapas. You don't order like entrees. You just get like a whole bunch of like appetizers, and you just kind of pass them around.
Yeah.
But I was trying to do my thing. Like, I'm here to work for these people.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, so I was like walking things around and making sure everybody's okay. And, you know, it's a big group. You know, they have somebody that does music, they have somebody that does lights, they have somebody that does video. Then you have Gila, the fire dancer, and then Bunny. And so that's at least 5 people.
Yeah.
And, you know, walking around, and I get back to my little seat, and Gila had made me a plate for myself.
Because she's from one of those countries.
Shock.
You need to find yourself a good Mexican lady. That's what they do, bro. Heck yeah. Now,
I mean, that's not something that I would want to look for in a person by any means, but it's yeah, especially if you're out working all day. You know, if they're out working all day too, then, you know, make your own fucking plate.
right? Ooh.
You guys know what I mean.
Sour blueberry. That's what the only bad thing about fruit. You'll have one blueberry that's really good. Then the next blueberry will be really fucking tart. And then the next one's like, tastes like cardboard. It sucks.
Where are they getting them blueberries from?
Costco.
Mm.
I'm trying to eat healthier. I gotta slim down. It's been what? In a couple months, it'll be 2 years since I got divorced. So I gotta start looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so Dawnbreak, you're Italian, so that's kind of the same. But here's the problem: if you find a white woman that does it, they're psycho. They're psycho. Psycho. Maybe. I had a friend.
I mostly only dated psycho women, so I could give you a reference.
Like, so I was working in Anchorage, and this guy, he was a friend of mine. Well, kind of. We worked together. And he came to me one day. He's like, Eddie, bro, you know, can I stay with you in the corporate room? Because the company paid for my room, right? So I had a corporate room. And he's like, you know, me and my wife are on the outs right now. Can I stay with you? She kicked me out the house. I was like, sure, no problem, bro. So that night, it was Friday. We went to the bar. We were partying all fucking night long. We get back home, and you know when somebody's depressed over their woman and they drink and they start talking stupid shit? Then he starts calling her. And next thing you know, fucking the cops, or he starts telling me, he's like, yeah, you know, well, my wife is mad at me because I kind of beat her up. And I was like, you know, that's one thing I don't approve of, bro. I said, you can stay the night here, but after that, you got to kick rocks. I was like, you know, you got to learn from your mistakes. You don't hit a woman. He's like, all right, I get it. Like 20 minutes later, the cops show up because he was calling his ex-wife or his wife or whatever. Mm-hmm. So they're like, is Chris here? And I was like, oh, the wife beater? I was like, yeah, he's right there. That's not a snitch, folks. When you beat up a woman and the cops show up for you, I'm not going to fucking stand up. I'm not going to protect you. So they took him. And then like 2 days later, I get a call from her. And she's like, Eddie, can I come by and like get my shit? And I was like, look, Nope, I'm not getting in between it. Whatever is here is his. He can pick it up when he gets out of jail. And she's like, I can just have the cops come to your house again. I was like, fuck it, come pick up your shit. So she came, and like when she showed up at my door, I was cooking dinner. And I was in my 20s, so, you know, it was hamburger helper. I go to get her box of stuff, and so she like was stirring my hamburger helper. And I gave her stuff, and she left. And then I go to eat my food, and there's fucking her hair in my food. I was like, man, gosh darn it, this chick. So I was just like, you know, I was in a mood. So I'm like, I called her back. I left a voicemail because back then, you know, people had voicemails. It was a home phone. I was like, you know, you make me give you a shit back. You're hassling me, and then you leave fucking your hair in my food. I had to throw it away. Well, I didn't throw it away. I still ate it. So she calls me back, and she's like, well, what's your favorite food? I'll make it up to you. So I'm thinking, you know, that I love lasagna. Thinking she would drop off, you know, maybe like a plate of lasagna or something from a restaurant. Yeah. So the next, a couple days later, I come home from work, and then there's a knock at the door, and it's her little daughter, Stephanie. And she was like, my mom said to bring you this. And I was like, oh, thank you. Tell your mom I said thank you. And the little girl just walks in the house. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, Mama and brother's coming in. So her and the baby and the other kids are coming up. She has like 4 kids. Like, thank you for the food, you know, have a nice day. She's like, oh, well, we kind of made enough for all of us to eat together. And she kind of ended up staying the night. And she stayed for a while. And like I would come home from work, and this chick would I walk in, she'd be like, the bath is hot, hop in the bath, dinner will be ready in 20 minutes. And I'm like, holy shit, who could beat up a chick like this? And then after a while, I finally told her one day, I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I don't believe in men hitting women, but I can understand why he did it. I don't agree with, because she was psycho. She was real psycho. Like my CD player broke, and it was like 2000, right? I wanted one of those brand new MP3 players, you know? It was a mini disc player. You know, they never lasted, but they're mini disc players. And so she loaned me her CD player, and then I bought I said, okay, cool, I'll give it back to you when I get my new mini disc player. And so I got the new mini disc player, I gave it back to her, and she freaked out on me. She was like, I gave that to you. You don't want. I was like, I told you it was a borrow. I don't want a CD player. I want the mini disc player. Freaked out on me. She drove the hour home, got home, called me back, says, I want to come back home, come back over. She came back over, got pissed at me again, and drove back home. She, like 2 times in one night, she drove the hour each way because she got pissed at me. A couple years later, he got out of jail and asked if he could come back to work for our company, and so they let him. And he showed up, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. And she loved me so much. Her son was named after him, and she changed his name to Eddie. And I'm like, this is definitely
that's a
psycho chick, right? So like he shows up, and he's sitting there, and he wasn't a plumber like I was. So his job was to drive everybody back and forth to work. He was like our bitch, right? So I'm flying into Seattle, and they're like, Eddie, Chris is here. And I was like, uh-oh, this is going to be interesting. And he's like being totally cool with me. And he's like, hey, look, I'm trying to get back with my ex. She's bringing the kids down so I can see my kids. Can you do me a favor? And I'm like, sure, what's that? I was thinking he's going to say, you know, don't talk to her. He's like, whatever you do, if I hear you call my son Eddie, I'm going to be pissed. You know, when you're in your 20s, you do stupid, dumb shit. Anyone who manipulates your way to your house are crazy. I should have known that, Gilded. Thank you. But she was pretty hot, too. I'm in Anchorage, Alaska, where 90% of the women are butt ugly. No offense, just not my type of women. And in walks this gorgeous, tall, white... And I was in the Mexican girls, and she was white. And I was like, oh, shit, she's kind of cute. Women and men are both psychos.
Oh, yeah. The crazy ones are generally better looking, though. At least from my experience.
I've noticed that too, right? Well, they say ugly people like me, you got to be nice so that way you can get the better looking people.
maybe they're just used to getting their way. I don't know what it is, but the hotter they are, the crazier they were. But then again, I've always been attracted to danger.
Yeah.
Like, I can sense it. Even before the crazy comes out, I'm just like, why am I so attracted to this person? Like, oddly enough, I won't get into too many details, but one of the first time I met Coach's sister, I was just like, for the first time, I actually wanted to ask somebody out on a date. I normally don't do that. And, you know, I held off and I was like, that can't be, you know, I can't be mixing, you know,
sorry to hear that.
With, you know, trying to ask out my coach's sister. You know, I was like, what if things go wrong? This, that, or the other. You know, I started thinking about shit and didn't do it. And then it wasn't too long after that I found out that she is just batshit crazy.
Really?
And I was
Hook me up when I come to visit
I
you.
see why I was so attracted, even though I didn't see any craziness, but it's just like a vibe that I can sense.
You know why? Because they're more fun. You don't know what to expect. It's more fun. It's more fun. Girls do that too, you know? Like, what do they say? When girls are young, they date the football players, you know, the jocks, the hot guys. And then once they hit 40 and they've left them, who do they go for? They go for the nerdy guys. You know, the guys that'll take care of them. They finally realized, oh shit, I get screwed over when I go with the jocks. Matt Schaefer says, I got the other problem. I'm sorry you had that. I had the exact same problem. And you know what? That was probably what broke up my marriage more than her being a liberal. But I guess it was part of her being a liberal. Like, when we first started, you know, when I met her, she's like, she didn't want to talk to me. She's like, you know, I'm really busy with school. I want to make my career perfect. And I was like, dude, I love this chick. She's like me, career-minded. And then we started dating and you know, we got married. And all of a sudden, I was like, how come you're only working 4 hours this week? And she worked at CVS. She's like, I don't know. You know, there's not a lot of work. And it was like, I'm going to her by CVS, and I'm seeing people there all the time. And then one day she was working, and I had to go there. And her boss says, hey, Angela, can you do this? And she gave him this look, like the look she gives me when I ask her to do shit. And I was like, oh, that's why she only gets 4 hours. She gave her boss that look like, what the fuck are you think you're doing telling me where to fucking go to work? And I'm like, no wonder you get 4 hours a week. Fucking...
How dare boss man tell me what to do at work?
Right? Oh my gosh. I'm the kind of worker when I get a job, I kiss ass so I can get higher up faster. I'm the kiss ass guy. And it works. When I was in the union, they sent me to the very first time I got a night job. So my union, in the plumbing union in San Francisco, if you work overnight, they pay you double time. So instead of the $52 an hour, I was making $104. And I show up and 4 guys show up. And the boss is like, look, it's a 2-week job, right? If everybody works. He's all, so work your ass off and we'll make a lot of money. And I did. So like 2 days later, the boss fired all the 3 other guys. And it's like, look, Eddie. He's like, you outworked everybody here and you're fucking handicapped. He's all, I'm going to keep you, but do you mind if we work for a whole month straight? And I was like, you mean, a whole month of fucking $104 an hour? Fuck yeah. So I did. And then it lasted more like 2 months. Nothing like getting a freaking $4,000 paycheck and you only get $1,800 after taxes and fucking union dues. A week. I pay like $2,200 a week in fucking taxes. Pissed me off. And then I blew it all at the casino every week. Anyways. There's not much on the news, and I'm like so tired. Now I'm getting hyped up from that MRI to get up so early. My left eye is like totally fucked up. I can barely read out of it right now. I'm gonna die. Gildan, how long is your bus ride?
Today.
Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was asking Gildan how long her bus ride is, but go ahead.
I was saying the only really thing that I heard about was Elon Musk is must have found something about Twitter shenanigans with during election years, I guess would be the safest way to put it.
Really?
Release some information.
Interesting. Hey, Gilda.
Yeah.
Gilda says she gets paid cash. Do you pay any of your employees cash, or is it all straight fucking, you know what?
Huh?
She works at a head shop, and she says she gets paid cash.
Oh. No, we don't even write out checks. Everything's direct deposit.
Yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
Wow. You'll get there. So you got like an hour-long bus ride? You'll be there at 9. So that's 2 hours. What are you, like in Ohio or something like that? That's crazy. An hour-long bus ride. You must get paid a lot of money to sit on a bus for an hour. Actually, I shouldn't say that. When I got my first really good job. What's up, Eva? I grew up in a little town called Lompoc, and in Santa Barbara, California, there was a place called Applied Magnetics, and back then, you know, minimum wage was $4.50, and you started at $8 at this place. So we would drive an hour, but we carpooled, and it was cool. You worked 3 days, 3 12-hour days 1 week. The next week you worked 4 12-hour days, and anything over 8 hours was overtime. You have 2 hour and 30-minute rides to go to work? Holy jeez. Drunk uncle would never do that. Even if you own the shop, you wouldn't do that, would you, Drunk?
I own a shop that's only 35 miles south of where I'm at, but there's always traffic because they've been working on the interstates.
Uh-huh.
I think that it opened up in 2016.
That's
so however many years that is, like six years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I probably only stepped foot in that shop 10 to 20 times.
Oh, wow.
And in the beginning, that was going to be like my baby. Like I was going to go in and I was going to do everything. The layout, it'd be totally everything that I wanted to do. I could do it. And I started driving there and kept hitting traffic, and I was like, nope. I started making excuses about how my car was too old.
Uh-huh.
That was before I, picked up the Element. And I was like, I don't know if I can trust my car to go down there.
2 30-minute rides. I got you. Dawn said
But now I'm sometimes driving about 120 miles a day.
Yeah, but that's for your jiu-jitsu stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
I seem to be okay with it as long as I don't hit traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic sucks.
I hear that, Matt. So Matt, when I got divorced, I got, my ex-wife was like, oh yeah, let's get, I'm cool with divorce, that's cool, whatever. And she was like, let's just get it over as fast as we can. You can have the house. You paid for the house. I'll let you keep the house. I was like, great. And then something changed. Somebody got to her, and all of a sudden she wanted to fight about fucking everything. So the lawyer started out at $2,500, and she's like, I'll probably be giving you money back, Eddie. But then every time my ex-wife got pissed at me, she'd email or call my fucking lawyer. It turned out to be like $7,000. I was pissed. But you know why they say divorce costs so much? Huh?
I'd tell my lawyer, why the fuck you keep answering her calls? Don't do that.
She has to open the email when she gets them, I guess. I don't know. Oh, she tried to have me arrested because I wouldn't give her the renewal to her car that I paid for. She's like, I paid for the renewal for the car. It hasn't shown up yet. I was like, well, I got it, but you haven't taken the license plate out of my name yet. And because she had my handicap placard, right? And the handicap placard. So in California, when you have handicap placards, I pay half for my registration. So she took advantage of that. And I was like, look, take the fucking handicap plates off your car. That's my car. That's not my car anymore, and there shouldn't be handicap plates on there. So remember, I went in the middle of the night and took them off. I did it live. She was a bitch. So she tried to have me arrested. Anyways. Yeah, God Rides a Harley says it's worth it. Don says, I literally walked through the hood 30 minutes. Someone was shot in the head in front of my register. Craziness. Oh, you live in Minneapolis, Gildan? I know about your bus scenes. Remember when I rode that bus from downtown Minneapolis trying to get to, where were the riots are at? Where was that at? That was in, so see, I have family that lives in Brooklyn Park, so it was Brooklyn City. It was Brooklyn City. I took the bus trying to find Antifa. I was calling Antifa out the whole way on the bus ride. I'm like, Antifa, I'm coming for you. I'm going to fuck you up, Antifa. Remember that? Everybody's like, Eddie, go home. I was like, no. I'm in Minneapolis during the Derek Chauvin trial. I'm going to fuck up some Antifa. And I get there, nobody was there. Pissed me off.
Oh, Kenosha was
that was
the kid.
Yeah, the kid. And then like me and Ty, we were waiting for the Chauvin trial to come out. You know, it's when the jury was doing their deliberations. And so I was like, well, let's go to Mall of America. So we're on the train to Mall of America, and Ty taps me, and he's like, Eddie, look over there. And there's like some dude just fucking right there on the subway. It's not a subway, but on the train. Dude's just shooting up right in front of a whole bunch of people. And he looks over and he's like, what the fuck are you looking at? I'm like, shut the fuck up. And Ty's like, Eddie, you know Ty, how afraid Ty is? Ty's like, Eddie, don't you be starting shit here. We're in Minneapolis. I'm like, dude, I grew up around LA. Fuck these dudes.
I'd be like, what you shooting, dude? Hair on? Like, all right, I'm gonna wait till you pass out. I'm gonna steal your shoes.
All right. Freaking Brooklyn Center. I went there, you know, where the buses park. It's like a roundabout thing. And then I had to go across the street, and that's where the Walmart, was it a Walmart? I think there's a Walmart. Hell, I got the video somewhere around here. Let me see. I did it all live. I like riding buses when you go to places like that. You learn shit when you ride the bus. RealDealEddieBlock Brooklyn. I went to. Let's see. Nope. When was the Derek Chauvin trial?
Don't remember.
Cruising Minneapolis, knife from Minneapolis. At Hennepin County Courthouse. Cut Foods. Remember when we were at Cut Foods, me and Ty? Cruising. It's got to be cruising Minneapolis. Let's see. By themselves to get right now. Dude, I remember the hotel fucking closed the whole. They boarded up everything. Okay, no, that's not it. Oh, it's got to be this 2-hour one where I was on the bus. Oh, yeah, here we go. So, if you're on the bus right now...
Oh, I'm not?
Gilded.
Really?
Look, here's me on the bus in Minneapolis going to Brooklyn Center.
What's up, Love Forever?
Let's see. This one I was getting off the bus about. Why is
you like to join my... You like to get on my freaking...
That's what Antifa was getting on
government official for me.
So what's Brooklyn Center? Let's see.
Anybody
There's a
ever
Walmart.
watch Clerks, the movie? Remember Clerks?
Yeah, I think it was 2021, Andy.
Put that big old sign up there. We are open. I gotta go underneath the freeway.
Let's see. There's the
Qdoba Mexican food.
Qdoba Mexican food on the corner.
Here, let's show you what's going on.
Oh, the T-Mobile. Anyways, we don't need to play all this stuff.
So with this new, this thing that they've added to YouTube, I don't know how it works, but see how when you're like trying to scan across, it says like pull up for more precise something or another. I haven't figured out what the hell that even means.
What are you talking about? Shit,
Like if you pull up a YouTube video and you're hovering over the timeline and like trying to find things.
Oh yeah.
And it gives you a thumbnail.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
It says like pull up for something. And maybe it's only on mobile devices, but I haven't figured out what the hell it's supposed to. Because you can't click on it.
No, I see what you're saying.
And if I try to swipe up, it doesn't do anything.
So, like, I use this feature all the time because you can see what part where you're at in the video, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know what... I just use that feature so I can look and see, you know, where I'm at. Like, I can see this is... I'm in front of... Is that the Walmart? Everything was closed that night, too.
Yeah, but up until, like, a month ago, that pull up for precise seeking wasn't there.
Really?
I don't even know what that shit's about. Maybe it's just for mobile devices.
I don't know. Gas hit $2.89 a gallon there. Holy shit. I wish. I paid $5.19 for diesel today.
And he says if you hold, click, and roll up, you can scrub back and forth more precisely.
Okay, whatever. I'm on a Mac. There is no roll up button. Oh yeah, this is when I met Jake and Josh from Primetime Patriot and what do you call it? Primetime Patriot and my brain's freezing right now. Dude, remember when I was right there at Hennepin County, fucking, and I'm sitting there and with all these Black Lives Matter people, and like Twitter's going off, like look for Eddie, the handicap guy, and I'm sitting in the middle of the fucking Black Lives Matter people, and I'm like freaking out. I'm like, dude, they're gonna fucking kill me. And I went up to that one dude. His name was Muhammad or whatever. And he's sitting there fucking talking to me. And I took a picture with him. And I'm like, dude, you just took a picture with a Proud Boy. Remember that? Dude. Yeah, here we go. This is me and Ty right here. I was like right in the middle of all of this shit. Like George Floyd's girlfriend was like 3 feet from me. Is this the 360?
Let me try messing with the connection.
Let's see. Is this my 360 footage? No, it's not. Dude, that was crazy. Maybe it's this one. Yeah.
That out, Andy.
Over here, so I'm gonna stay over here, guys.
I was looking for
If you don't know,
yeah, here we go.
Back and forth between.
So let's see. Can you guys see this? Yeah, here we go. So I'm like right here at the George Floyd freaking video outside. Like this is how close I was, guys. Here's George Floyd's girlfriend right there in front of me, like 5 feet from me. This is that Muhammad dude that I took up. Remember he fucking did this in the picture? Oh, Eva says it's buffering. It works on your Mac. I didn't mean roll literally. I mean you hold down the left finger, and then you can use the second finger. Oh, I use the second finger all the time. Oops, did I say that? Did I say that?
Stalker.
I am a stalker. I could be a stalker. Dude, if you're not a stalker...
Shocker.
Huh?
I said shocker.
Oh, shocker. Oh, okay. Dude, if you are not a stalker in this day and age, if you do not look up the girl or guy, whatever you're talking to at the time, whatever is, then there's something wrong. If you meet a girl nowadays, you gotta look that chick up. You gotta find out. I do. Don't you, drunk uncle? Don't you do a little research before you hook up with the chick? Well, if not like instantly, but you know what I mean? A chick you're really talking to?
I've been out of the market for a while.
Dude, I'm an investigative journalist. Like, Brittany got mad when she found out. When I was talking to Brittany, She was like, you did a research on me? I was like, fuck yeah, I did. She's like, what all did you find out? I'm like, I knew where you lived. I know where you used to live. And she's like, why would you do that? I was like, to protect myself. I'm not going to go on a date with you, you know, and drive all the way over to your house if I don't know who the fuck you are. Wouldn't you drunk nowadays?
Yeah, especially considering the people that I've ended up with.
Right? You got to. It's just the way of life nowadays. Do your research, folks, especially when you meet people off the internet. We just showed a thing the other day. What did that lady do? She scammed some guy for $1.2 million. You got to nowadays. You totally do. Freaking once you tell me, like, you send me your phone number, I search with your phone number, I make sure the name that you give me matches up with the phone number you gave me. Oh, I do it all. I protect myself, bro. Hell no. I mean, I have Antifa trying to get me. Of course I'm gonna do it.
Well, you probably done the same thing with me whenever I first started coming around and be like, I don't know about this guy.
Maybe.
But find out.
Maybe.
I done the same thing too. That's how I figured out your real name. Huh? And you were like, how the fuck did you find that?
Yeah, you found it quicker than I thought you would. That was the problem. I knew you'd find my real name. Well, I mean,
yeah,
Eddie is my real name.
Retrial or something like.
Eddie's my real name, but that's my middle name. Most of you guys know that. So, I remember too, the first time I brought this girl home, and my mom's like, "Why the fuck does she keep calling you Eddie?" And my stepdad, of all people, he's like, "You know he hates his first name. What the fuck is his middle name?" And my mom was like, "Oh yeah, it's Edward."
But your stepdad still calls you by your first name, though.
Because he's known me since I was freaking born. Him and my dad were fucking good friends.
Maybe he's just doing that to annoy you. He's like, he's known for all those you don't like your first name. He's like, yep, that's what I'm going to do.
My brother, my sister, my stepdad, they all call me by even my aunt, she calls me by my first name. It's a Dutch name. And the only reason I don't like my first name is because it's Dutch and people get it wrong. They spell it wrong. It's Hendrik. And so they'll be like Jimmy, where they call me Heinrich, Hendricks, Kendrick, Henry. That's what really pisses me off, Henry. I don't know why.
Yeah, the only person that had the same name as you was his last name, and he was like half Korean.
Yeah, I think
I never
about that.
Parents, so I didn't know which half was Korean.
Yeah. I don't hide my first name, guys, so if you think Eddie's hiding his first name, no, I don't. I hate it. It's Hendrik, and people always call me the wrong. And it's spelt in the Dutch version, so there's no C in there. And everybody fucking spells it wrong. Dude, on my VA card, they have on the VA spelt my name wrong. And I tried to fix it, but because it's also my insurance card, so if they spell my name right at the doctor's office and they turn it into the VA, they won't get paid. So they won't change my name now. It's like, what? And that's why I like Eddie. Eddie is a lot easier to say. But then it's funny, some people spell Eddie wrong too. Like, I'm like, why are you spelling my name Eddy? It's Eddie. You know?
Never anybody that spelled it with a Y.
And it's funny, they'll be looking, they're like, Eddie, how do you spell your name? And I'm like, aren't you watching my show right now? It says it, EddieBlockFilms.
Yeah. Oh, people were spelling.
Yeah. People are very... Fuck you, Andy. Fuck you. Dude, I don't get why people spell Donnie that way, too. They put a Y with Donnie's name. It's like it's I-E. Oh, well.
I've known people that... I think I had a uncle, or not a real uncle, but somebody within the extended family that spelt their Donnie as a
kind of Gilded.
Y.
Yeah, kind of. Watch Gilded, some fucking Antifa person. Oh, now we know his real name. It's not that hard. You type in Eddie Block, it pops up with my first name too. It's not like I'm hiding anything. I don't give a fuck. You can't touch me. I'm untouchable. I should
Can't
be.
touch us. Dun, right? Dun, 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 dun.
You can't.
No, no.
Only thing you can do is fight me, and 40% of the time I'll probably get my ass kicked. But at least I can admit when I get my ass kicked.
Not after January.
Why would January make that I won't get my ass kicked?
Yep, because I'm gonna teach you stuff. Remember?
Oh, okay. You can still get your ass, dude. I'm dumb. You've seen me. I'll go start fights with fucking 10 people. I don't care. That's how I get my ass kicked.
But if I heard this somewhere, and I hope it proves to be true, that if you're trained in any form of martial arts, it doesn't really matter what it is, unless it's something stupid like Aikido.
My brother used to do that.
You can go up against 95% of untrained civilians. Doesn't matter how big they are, how strong they are, how fast they are. Doesn't matter.
But drunk, you got to remember who you're talking to, dude. It was me and WYSIWYG. We were like only 2 of 5 conservatives around 1,000 Black Lives Matter Antifa people, and I'm starting a fight with them.
Yeah. Well, I
can't use karate to kick 20 people's ass.
Yeah, that's definitely. I'm speaking more of like one-on-one. Like James Klug, like almost had to get into it with somebody.
Who's that?
Just you don't know who James Klug is?
Maybe if I saw him. What's up, Hangtown?
Yeah, he's another conservative YouTuber. I thought you guys knew each other. Like he's kind of runs around with, or used to run around with Fleckus.
I probably met him then. Okay, Graw says that Elon Musk is live. Where is he live at? Is he live on Twitter?
On the internet.
Well, no shit, Sherlock. Where is he live at, Graw? Can you text me? Can you text me the link? Let's hear what he's saying. Oh, here it is.
A little bit inaccessible, but as people get into it, it makes it more accessible and more spreadable. And
hold on, that's not what I think I'm looking for. Elon Musk, Bitcoin, Ether merge, 1,000 people watching.
Affect them. So, yeah.
Let me share. Let's show it.
I think what Jack's doing sounds like a good idea to have, a hardware wallet that's the only thing that contains your private keys. Like that's like in terms of sort of empowering the people, which I very much believe in. Then I think you want to have.
It's coming from Tesla.
People have their own wallets and be the only ones that
this is fake.
That have the private keys to that wallet. So-called wallet.
Well, hell,
the other side of the.
Let's look at Twitter.
Of the crypto.
Right. I agree.
They're talking about crypto.
I think we'll see an emergence too of new solutions that use multi-sig, like with the 2 or 3 keys, where the user has 2 keys and then you get assisted custody by having an institution hold a 3rd key. Can be a good solution as well.
Yeah. Well, you can just put your private key in something that
it's got 110,000 subscribers.
Or voting access as a.
Are you sure, Andy? Are you sure? Even CNET is fucking doing it. There's another no, I'm looking at the actual Tesla US Live.
So Elon, that's the hippie dude, former Twitter guy over there.
Seeing there may be some disagreements.
Yeah,
on this,
Jack,
but,
whatever his name is. That's what makes me. That's what makes me think there's something wrong with this. Because why would he be on there with the what's his name, Jack Dorsey?
He actually Jack Dorsey started to.
Oh no, it is because look,
he seemed to change his aspect once he was out. So I guess maybe he thought he could speak more freely once he was completely out.
No, it's real, Andy. Because look, I'm on Elon Musk's Twitter, and he says Neuralink stream is coming up at in half an hour. So this is real. Oh, this is the real one.
But then obviously even better than that would be to bridge the connection.
This is the real one here.
So take the signals from the motor cortex, and let's say somebody's got a broken neck.
But it's about crypto. I don't give a shit about.
No, it's not.
Crypto.
This is not about crypto. This is Neuralink. This is about using somebody's brain to control shit.
Yeah, I want to hear about the election
There are
stuff.
physical limitations to enabling full body functionality.
You're right. Those other ones were fake.
As miraculous as it may sound, we're confident that it is possible to restore full body functionality to someone who has a severed spinal cord.
Holy shit, that's me. I don't have a severed, but that's kind of me. That is cool. I could walk normal again.
So yeah. All right. And then I want to emphasize again that the primary purpose of this update is recruiting.
Okay, it's all about
a lot of
recruiting.
times people think that.
So it looks like he made an announcement. What they're working on is some kind of chip that they can put in your body.
No, thank you.
Huh?
No, thank you.
I don't know. I'm always, when it comes to my body, I'm in so much fucking pain. If the doctor says, look, you do this, it'll take your pain away, I'll fucking try it. Because I'm sick and tired of the pain. Except for, I am still a pure blood. I am still a pure blood. And
But I think Neuralink is like the almost beginning stages of, they can fucking tap into your brain and shit, and the whole thing about, paying with stuff by putting your wrist on a. No, thank you.
I'm telling you, that's gonna happen, bro. What's that movie? Fucking. What is the movie I'm thinking about?
Idiocracy?
No. Oh my gosh, Wesley Snipes is in it, and he goes to the future. Huh?
Blade Runner?
No. So basically what it is, he goes to the future, right? And he's walking around, he's like, what the fuck is this shit? And all of a sudden it goes, cha-ching, you've been fined $500 credit points or something like that, right? And he's like, fuck you. And it says, cha-ching, you've been fined another. What is that movie? It's, I think, what's his, Sylvester Stallone is in it. That's the future. I'm telling you guys, it's the future. It's a good movie. Oh, sorry, Hang Time.
I think the
Demolition
second one
Man. Demolition Man. Charles Snow had a Demolition Man. Then Hemi had a Sagittarius. Yeah, Demolition Man, guys, is gonna be the fucking future. I'm telling you. There's gonna be some kind of fucking chip in us. And there's going to be no crime because you're going to have this fucking chip in you and you can't get away with shit.
Yeah, you need to watch Idiocracy too, because that's basically in that movie.
Idiocracy? Okay, let me add this to my list. Idiocracy. Okay. Movie.
It's a comedy. But it was made, I think, in 2006.
Yeah.
But it's obviously started to become true.
Yeah. The 3 seashells in the bathroom. Isn't it a bidet? Dude, bidets are badass. Bidets are badass. So I think
I'll one.
So I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? I know everybody's not gonna like this. When people think about everybody having a chip in them, and I don't like it, but I like the fact of having no more crime. Wouldn't that be badass where you didn't have to worry about going outside, worrying about, somebody trying to attack you?
By then you've handed everything over.
That's true.
To the controllers that be, and they decide what crime is. Like in Idiocracy, you get your food from a vending machine.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so you order fries, and it's like Carl's Jr. or something like Carl's Jr.
Carl's Jr.
like
sucks.
What? Yeah.
They're good,
and,
but take an hour to get your food.
I ordered fries, and then like you don't get any fries, like nothing comes out, and the lady's like, I'm hungry, kids need to eat, and she like bangs on the vending machine, and the vending machine just like sprays like a sedative into her face, and like she stumbles off, and it's like, Carl's Jr. does not promote vandalism. All the money has been deducted out of your account, and the police are going to take your children.
Whoa. Interesting. I'll have to check it out. I don't know. I mean,
and electric cars. And like this one guy, basically the movie is this guy travels into the future on accident through like some like military thing, and everybody's become really dumb, and he doesn't understand what's going on, and he doesn't have a tattoo of his barcode, so he becomes a fugitive. He gets this guy to try to get him out of there, but he's in an electric car, but they got all these sensors everywhere, and it detects the tattoo that they had him put on before he escaped prison, and it shuts the battery off.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you doing? Keep driving. He's like, they shut my battery off. Like so much stuff that could oddly be
very... So, you know, instead of doing the news, let's talk about this here a little bit, guys. So I actually wanted to talk about this, and one of the questions I wanted to ask tonight for the talking points, since there wasn't a lot of news, is why are most people in Hollywood liberal? So let's think about this for a minute. Brownie, get out of there. And then I'm going to add this to it. So I always say the things you see in movies, people are not predicting the future. Somebody sees it in a movie, and they have the intelligence to say, hey, I can make that happen. And then they figure out how to make it happen, right? So we have all these movies, like somebody said, Enemy of the State. We're just talking about Demolition Man. We're talking about Terminator movies. We're talking about, what's the movie you just said? Idiocracy, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are all liberals in Hollywood making these videos. And it's all about controlling people. There was another movie that I can't remember the name of it. I've seen it a couple times. The guy's in a wheelchair, and he's always wanted to go to the moon or whatever it was, be part of this NASA program, right? And so what he did was whatever your freaking blood, they test your blood, and your blood decided what you were going to be in life. Gattaca. Is it Gattaca? I think that's the movie, right?
Well, don't they already do that in China? Not from blood, but you take a test, and then they're like, all right, this is what you're going to do.
I don't know. Do they do that there? I don't know. I don't think
so. I thought I heard something about that.
I know in India, whatever your name is, that kind of relates to what you do. Because in like hotels, like when I was a plumber, I go to all these different hotels, and they'd always have the last name Patel. And I'm like, so why, are you guys all related? And he's like, no, if you're a Patel, that means you're going to be a hotel owner. And I'm like, what? And that was just it in the old days. And then now it's just so many people named Patel had owned hotels that it's just continuing on. A lot of places do that. Cross says because the Chinese own Hollywood. See, Mike Jones even says Patel. Yeah, like I went to this one dude's house in South San Francisco, and these guys are the cheapest motherfuckers ever. And I would go to his house, and he's got like probably his house is probably worth $50 million now or whatever, right? And I'm walking through his house, and he takes me in his office, and he's got pictures with every president for the last like 30 years. And at that time it was 2000, and he's got a big picture of him and President Clinton, and I'm just like, holy shit. He had pictures with Bush, pictures with Reagan, I was like, dude, who the fuck is this guy I'm working for? It's crazy, Dude's
My great grandmother she died a long time ago, obviously, but I remember as a kid that she had, because she lived to be very old, and she had like 2 letters from 2 different presidents on her wall that was like wishing her a happy birthday.
Yeah.
She lived to be 105 years old, 104 or 105.
I see. So Big Tech says they use the flaws in the American family immigration to come in as a family of Patel. You know, that might be true. That might be true. Like, so I also, as being a plumber, I worked with a lot of people that own these, you know, Johnny Quicks and 7-Elevens and, you know, the liquor stores. And what happens is this. So you're back in your country, and they're basic. It's like human trafficking. So these people, they say, here's the deal. We're going to give you a loan. We're going to buy you a store. You're going to run it, but you're going to pay us like fucking 50% interest or something like that. And that's how it works. So they find somebody in the country. They say, look, we'll buy you the store. You got to pay us this huge interest. When you pay it off, the store is yours. And that's why you'll notice when they open up their store first, you know, they bring their whole fucking family. They're living in one little house. Sometimes I've seen up to 3 families living in one house from the Middle East. And they all work at that liquor store until they can pay those people off. And then once they pay the people off, next thing you know, they're doing it to somebody else that did, you know, because they're like, that's how it works. They did it to me, I'm going to do it to them. That's why there's so many Middle Eastern people owning liquor stores.
In my area, they own tobacco stores.
Do they? That's starting to happen now, too. The other thing I've noticed they're doing now is they're owning all the Subways and all of the Quiznos, all the sandwich shops. It's, you know, that's how they get them over here.
Yeah. It almost seems like a conglomerate, like, because either these tobacco stores are not paying what they're supposed to in nicotine tax.
Uh-huh.
Or they are able to keep their prices so low because they'll have like a hub that buys, like they might not even get to pick the products that they keep in their store, and the hub just buys a shitload of stuff at a much lower cost because instead of me buying 10, they're buying 50,000.
Mm-hmm.
So of course, much lower cost, and they get spread out all over all these stores within multiple states.
Yeah. Mike Jones says the same process applies to most all immigrants. Well, not Mexicans. No offense, Mexicans, right? The Mexican people, they don't do that. They don't bring their immigrants over here. Like when the people are crossing the border, immigrants like that from the lower states or the lower countries here, like Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, stuff like that. That's not how it works. They bring those people over here. And they'll say, oh, you can go clean houses and you can go, you know, I don't know why they do it to those people, but the Middle Eastern people, no, they do that. They also do, like, I understand they buy trucks. They'll buy, I've talked to the trucking companies and they're like, yeah, they'll go and they'll bring a 4-man team over here. They'll buy a brand new fucking, you know, truck and they'll start, you know, delivering groceries or whatever, you know, traveling the country, and they'll drive that thing nonstop 24 hours a day until they'll put, like, you know, they said a couple million miles on that truck real quick, and then they fucking just stop paying and they get the truck back, and then they go back to their country rich. Like, it's just, it's crazy.
I used to have an idea when I was younger that I wanted to open up a business somewhere that is very, very close to the Mexico border.
Uh-huh.
Run the business in the United States and then live in Mexico, because I think at that point in time, I think the dollar was worth like $7 in Mexico, or maybe even more.
Uh-huh.
You know, if I run a business in the United States, say I make profit $40,000 a year, 4 times 7, 14, 21.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You definitely don't want to do that. Number one, crossing the border every day, it takes like a fucking hour sometimes, unless you get this special pass where you can go faster. And like if you do that in California and you're going to live in Tijuana, yeah, you don't want to go live in Tijuana. Not a good.
Well, those were the obstacles that I was the more I thought about it and like talked to people about it, and they're like, you're going to have to find somewhere pretty safe to live in Mexico, which means that your dollar is going to be worth less the safer that you want to feel.
Right. Like, so in California, when you first cross the border, you're in Tijuana. And then, so here's what we used to do when I was younger. We would take the Amtrak all the way down to San Diego. And in San Diego, you take the subway, whatever, the metro, whatever you call it, to the border. You get off there, and at the border, you could pay a little junky bus. It was like 50 cents. This was in 2000, 90s maybe. And you go to the Revolution. And when you get down to the Revolution, you could pay it. That's where the big party spot is in Tijuana. Then you could pay a bus there. It's like $7, and it'll take you down to Rosarito Beach. It's like a 15, 20, maybe 30-minute drive. And Rosarito Beach is the nice place where you can go hang out. It costs a lot more money there. But like in downtown Tijuana, in the Revolution, like I was there in 1998. So in 1998, for $20, we got 20 shots of tequila and 20 beers. But that was 1998, a long time ago. And the key is you take a woman with you. Because the bars in downtown Tijuana, they see the girls, and they want to get the girls in the bar, so the girls get the drink for free. So you take a girl with you, and then she orders all the drinks, and she gets them free, and then she starts handing them to us. Yeah.
Word.
You just got to be careful, because it's crazy down there. All kinds of... Yeah, you're walking down... It's just like, what was that movie, Born in East L.A.?
I thought about my ideas that I had when I was younger. I didn't even think about the cartel.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, you'll be having to pay juice.
Because when I first conjured up the idea, I was like, okay, I'll have a business in Laredo, Texas, and then live in Laredo, Mexico. And then found out about how the cartels run that, and I would just get extorted. I'd be probably worse off than I would be if I had a business anywhere else.
Yeah. Isn't I think Laredo, that bridge is like the worst bridge of all for border crossings, I think. I don't know.
My buddies went down there, and they went down there to buy drugs. And they said as they crossed the border, like all these people were just running up to them, like, you want this, you want this, you want this. And they hooked them up with the doctor.
Yeah.
And they bought like, I think it was like $10,000 to $20,000 worth of like Xanax and Valium. And then they got called at the border. Well, this is what they told me. You know, who knows if it's real or not. But they got called at the border, and then they took their money and everything and all that kind of stuff, took the drugs, and then they called the doctor. And then the doctor had somebody, I guess, assuming the cartel, show up, and they got everything that, even the exact money in the exact bag that they gave them, gave it right back to them, and let them go on their way.
Oh, wow. Sagittarius says the donkey show in Tijuana. So you've been there. No, like at the Revolution, there's like they have one at the strip clubs. They have a guy out there. Come on, no, you come in the bar. Come on, bro, come in the bar. You know, and they're like panning out little flyers. They have a donkey show there, but they have this one bar where on the second floor they got the mechanical bull. I've ridden that bull before. I've also ridden a bull in Austin, Texas too. Y'all, I did it live for you guys. Get down, Brownie. Gosh darn it.
I rode it on a mechanical bull or whatever they call it long time ago. Like 2003, 2004.
Yeah. Never seen that movie, Mike. Anyways. So
it was a quick ride.
Yeah, for me too. So why are liberals all, I don't know if we're going to get to the news tonight, but why are liberals, Hollywood elites all liberals? And why are everybody liberals? You know, all these people that do bad things, why are they all liberals? I kind of wonder. What's up, Matt Rogers? I made this comment the other day. I think that all these people that do bad things are all liberals because that's how they keep their secrets, right? They all join the Liberal Party, and like each person has something on somebody else. So it's like, well, I can't say this about drunk uncle because freaking Mike Jones has this on me, and if I say this about Drunk Uncle and he's friends with Mike Jones, and Mike Jones will say this about me, you know? I kind of wonder if that's why so many people in Hollywood are all liberals. You know, they say in business, if you've never done something wrong in your business or you've never cheated in your business, you're not making any money. So I wonder if in order to get into Hollywood, you've got to do something bad or crazy to get into Hollywood. What do you think? What are your thoughts, Drunk? What are your thoughts, chat?
I think possibly that there's a lot more conservative people in Hollywood, especially once you start making money, and then, you know, your taxes and how much you have to pay for agents, and you know, you start to run into these barriers that you didn't have whenever you were just waiting tables looking for a break. And however, you have to appeal to the people that want to come to see your movies and stuff. So I think there's a lot of very conservative minded people, even if they don't even realize it. But they just can't say anything because they will, especially these days, you know, you'll just be ousted. I mean, they went after Tim Allen and took away his Buzz Lightyear thing, and now that movie flopped, they're coming crawling back to him, wanting him to make several Santa Claus movies.
Yeah. Matt says because they've been all to the same parties. Well, that's kind of what I mean. I think that's why. I don't know, and I think the reason why liberals have come out more and more and more is because think about this. Here's a theory I've had for a long time. You know, in the 50s, you know, not even saying the 50s. When you were a kid, you know, you got your ass beat for doing this, you got your ass beat for doing that, right? And what do you say? I'm never gonna do that to my kid. So then they get a little bit lighter, right? So all of a sudden, you know, when your kid deserves a fucking spanking, you're not spanking your kid. Next thing you know, so then they have kids, and they're like, man, my mom was a bitch. She made me sit in the corner every time I did this. I'm not going to do that to my kid. So now not only is the next generation not spanking their kids, they're not even fucking putting them in the corner. They're not putting them on timeout. They're not putting them in check. And then so then all of a sudden these kids who haven't had this, they've never been punished. They've never been put in the corner. They've never been whacked on their butt by their fucking dad with whatever the fuck they could find, you know? And they're like, you know, my mom gave me a dirty look. I'm never going to do that to my kids, you know? Oh my gosh, I feel sorry. It's the progression that slowly happened as we've been going along. You know, you start out with, oh, my mom was too rough on me. I'm not going to be that way. And just slowly everybody gets lighter and lighter, and now nobody fucking does shit to their kids. I had to go to the store today, and there's this lady, you know, pushing her kid around, playing a fucking TV that's like loud as hell, you know, and same thing at the MRI. In the hospital, this lady's just letting her fucking kid play this music as loud as can be. In my day, if I tried doing that, my mom would have knocked the fuck out of me. That's, you know, I think that's what it is. Matt says all of my 3 kids have been spanked. You know,
I think there's probably going to be a hard shift back the other way.
You think so?
Because you keep lightening up on them, and we'll say the kid that was, you know, in with the big loud thing, they grow up used to being in their own world and not being able to handle things, and let's just say that they're, you know, naturally aggressive, but they've never had to like tap into that, and they get older and something disrupts their bubble that they're in. They're going to freak out.
Yeah.
And let's say the kid, you know, and I think that it might take a hard swing back, because I think, what do they say, like tough times make hard men and good times make weak men.
Hi, Lillian. I don't know. I've never heard that, but I don't know. Can it go back? Because, like, so think about this. I thought about this today too. You know, I didn't sleep well last night. I had to get up real fucking early to go to get an MRI. I was gone, and I got home at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I left at like 6. And I hadn't eaten all day, and I'm tired, and I get home, and my 87-year-old stepdad was like, the first thing, the minute I show up, he's like, the internet's out, you got to fix it. You know, he's 87 years old. He grew up when there wasn't even fucking TV when he grew up, right? And now if the internet's out for like 20 minutes, he freaks out. And I'm not saying I'm not upset with him at that. It's just he's so, he lived without the internet a long time ago, but now that he's so used to the internet, it's part of his life. And it's an interruption in his life. And I don't think we're ever going to get the internet out of our lives anymore. Right? Because think about it, you say, oh, I'm not going to let my kids be part of the internet and stuff, right? My nephew was never on social media, but he makes sure he has internet up at his house. I don't think we're ever going to get away from it anymore. Can we get away from the internet? I mean, look at all of us here. We're watching this on the internet right now.
And what's weird is some of these people that are, widely, I wish I could remember some of the examples of the people, but their kids do not own a phone. Their internet is like supervised. And these are people that make their living through the public eye. Mm-hmm. And they realize,
holy shit,
like,
Matt.
You don't need to be doing that.
But here's the problem. You can control your kids when you're at home, but the minute they go to school or they go play with a friend, you can't control what they're doing over there. And their friend's like, hey, look at this video. And they're like, I don't have a phone. My parents won't let me have a phone. Here, look at my phone. And then the kid gets a little bit of that phone, and all of a sudden they're like, hey, I got to get me a phone. So then that kid starts saving up.
You got to think that these are rich and famous people. I think Ben Shapiro's kids might be these type. And, Ben Shapiro's not sending his kids to a fucking school.
Mm-hmm.
He has a teacher that comes in and stuff like that, and then their friends are within their community. They're like-minded and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Wayne says the internet's here to stay and will grow even more. Gilda says, Uncle, you're right. It's the process of the fall of civilization. I can't believe that Matt said, that's got to hurt. A razor strap? My mom would just hit us with her fist. She used to have one of those big wooden handled fucking cutting boards that she'd hit us with. Yeah, until I put a book in my ass one time, and then she really beat the shit out of me. That was the worst of all. I bet he's learning 1,000 times what schools taught back then. Of course they are. Even so, in the 80s, I was in Catholic school, right? I got straight C's and D's in Catholic school. I hated it. And my dad died, and I had to go take a test for the school, and they were going to put me in the school with the mentally disabled kids. And my mom's like, well, my son's not mentally disabled. He's just disabled. So they gave me a test. And I was actually reading, writing, and math of 10th grade when I was only in the 6th grade. So they put me in high school, and I was teaching these kids how to fucking do math in high school when I was getting F's and D's in Catholic school. So that shows you the difference in the curriculum just between a Catholic school and the freaking public schools. It's awful. You don't learn shit in public schools anymore.
It was quite a shocker to me, and maybe this is just because of the school that I went to whenever I was in school. But one of my customers brought in their kid, and they had their tablet with them. Mm-hmm. And the kid starts talking to me about my friend sent me all the answers to my math test, just out of the blue. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And turns her tablet around and shows it to me. Mm-hmm. And then it took me a second to process it, because I was trying to tell them, I was like, those answers are probably wrong. I was like, you want to figure out, you don't want to cheat yourself, trying to be a good adult, and tell them not to just, cheat on their test.
Yeah.
And I was like, I seen shapes on there. I was like, what are you taking, geometry? And they're like, yeah. Yeah, and I was like, what grade are you in? And they're like, I think they said the 6th or 7th grade.
Really?
Geometry, what? And I asked them, I was like, are you in like advanced classes? And they're like, no, I'm stupid. And I was like, okay, I don't even want to touch that because you're obviously not. But like, I don't, unless you were in advanced classes, like, I don't think I was even offered geometry until I was in 10th grade.
Yeah.
And the person is in like sixth or 7th grade.
Really?
Yeah.
See. So there's a website that I used a lot when I had my online classes. It's called Quizlet, right? Let me see. And so what I would do is when you were in your class, whatever class it was, and like your online class, like especially, I hated micro and macroeconomics, so I did them online. And they would have, so what you could do is you go to Quizlet, and all you would have to do is just copy the fucking question, right? And it would give it to you. Here we go. Let's see. They call them flashcards, right? But it's not really flashcards. Oh wait, no. Now it's different. It's not a flashcard.
You missed micro and macroeconomics. I enjoyed those classes because you learn the supply and demand curve.
But anyway, so you go. Oh, here we go. You go to this Quizlet thing, right? So look, terms in this set. How many moons are in the solar system? And the answer is 181. They tell you the answers. So all you got to do is type in the question, and all the answers are on here. What people do is they upload the freaking questions, and then you can go there. Like the Great Lakes test. You click on Great Lakes test, right? You go in here. What are the 5 Great Lakes? And it tells you right here. What melted to form the 5 Great Lakes glaciers? It gives you all the answers. Kids don't have to study anymore.
Get a generation of stupid people.
Yeah. Right? But that's how I passed my macro and microeconomics class. Because the macro and microeconomics class at my school was taught by this guy. He was an immigrant. And his freaking the way he talked, you couldn't understand it. He had such a harsh why can't I
dialect accent?
Yeah, accent, right? He had such a harsh accent that you couldn't understand him, and he was the only teacher. So I was like, and I couldn't understand a word he said. He would write up on the board, and you couldn't read it. So I was like, well, I'm gonna take it online, and I took it online. And all I did is, so you copy this, and then you go, okay, the answer is 600 feet. It's real easy to cheat on Quizlet with Quizlet there.
My operations management professor was the same way. I've told the story before. Born and raised in Korea, and then got educated in Wisconsin. So imagine a Korean accent mixed with Wisconsin accent, teaching in Charlotte.
Sorry, have I been using the F word a lot today? Sorry, Linda. My bad. I've had a long day. It's a weird day today. Have I been cussing a lot today, guys?
Cussing is part of my vocabulary, so I don't even notice it.
Yeah.
I notice it when the C word comes out, and people tend to get very offended when
I don't like that word.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite words, but I try to hold that back.
Yeah. You know what? The other thing we didn't do today, we didn't do news today. That's another thing that might have upset some people. But I'm tired. I got no sleep. I had a stupid MRI today. I'm not feeling good. My whole left eye feels like it's swollen right now. So, and I can barely read. Like, in order to read, I'm kind of like having to go like this, and it is what it is. Fuck it.
Hey.
Sorry. It's my show. You know what? I do. You know what, guys? Everybody thinks I do the show for you guys. No, I do the show more for me. I like doing the show. So that's probably why we don't have 1 million fucking people watching us. Because I do it for me. Drunk Uncle, don't you do it for you? It's because it's fun to you?
Pretty much.
This is not a job to us. This is just us having fun. When it turns into a job, that's when I start saying, that's when I'll take 2 or 3 weeks off. I'm like, fuck, I'm not doing this ever again. It's like a fucking job. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, I'm like, dude, I miss talking to everybody. And then I come back.
I'm highly underpaid if this is a job.
We both are. I'm paying to go to work. Remember, for a while there, I was paying $300 for internet service just to do the show.
I haven't got a T-shirt in like a year.
Oh yeah, I got to get you a shirt again. Yeah, but well, you know why? Because Drunk Uncle said, "Well, Eddie, you paid for my trip to Vegas, so you don't got to give me a T-shirt for a long time."
That's right.
Right.
That's right. But not many people will work for a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Every couple of months.
Well, I was trying to do one a month.
$20 every 3 months. Sure. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is not work to us, guys. This is just we're just here having fun. Do we want to make it into a business where we can get paid to do this? Fuck yeah. But I'm too lazy. And Drunk Uncle works too much. Maybe when I move over to where I live next door to Drunk Uncle, or at least close enough to where we can do the show in the same room, maybe we might turn it into a show where it's very professional and stuff like that. But right now, why? I'm having fun. Are you having fun?
Gang, gang.
I know he is, because you know, Drunk used to be like, hey, Eddie, you know, you said every once in a while we can do a show. You want to do a show? You know, Drunk Uncle doesn't do this for money. I mean, like I said, we don't get paid, either one of us. We just do this for fun. Yeah, I get some donations here and there, but ask Drunk Uncle. He hears about me buying shit all the time. He's like, why are you buying that? I'm like, it's for the show. But Eddie, you're not making any money yet. I'm like, so what? It's for the show. It's just fun. Yeah. Matt said that's how we look at racing.
Is when you get it and don't use it for very long.
Yeah. Like my life.
Like you're bored with the sound effects. Like you don't even use it.
No, I use it every day. We're on it right now.
Oh,
no. You're talking about this. You're talking about this board.
Fuck you.
This board?
Yeah. Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Yeah. Well, I know. I use it. I actually do use it every day because that's where the song is on. So I hit this button right here. And then it plays our song. And then, let's see. We got that one on there.
Let's get ready to run.
I gotta start messing with these. So, you know. It is what it is, guys. You know, my lawyer said, Eddie, you know, you're always do shit to make other people happy. You fucking stop it. Piss some people off. I'm like, what are you talking about? I get in fights with Antifa all the time. He's like, no, piss some of your friends off. And I was like, oh, okay. Glad you made it home, Gilded. Glad you made it home. And it's fun, dude. You know, we go places and people recognize you. That's cool. I like it. I also show up places and people tell me to go fuck myself. So what? Ooh, we made it home with Gilded. What's for dinner? Gilded, what are you making Drunk Uncle and I for dinner? Hell, one night a couple months ago, some girl sent me a fucking picture of her boobs to give to Drunk Uncle. Oh my goodness. It's just a fun show. That's what we do. We're not here to make money. That's why I don't grift you guys. That's why I'm like, hey, I didn't make any money this year. I need you to send me money. Dude, you want to see my credit card bills from buying shit for the show? I don't ever say that to you guys. Fucking, I don't do that. Why? I'm lucky. I was smart in life. I made my money. And I've done stupid shit. But because so when they first tried to put me on disability, the lady's like, wow, look how much you're getting on disability. If you hadn't worked, why didn't you become disabled when you first turned 18? Because I could have been on disability my whole life. I was like, because I'm not a lazy piece of shit. She's like, well, good thing, because look how much money you're getting now. And I have my plumbing retirement, my VA. Why should I charge you guys? I get paid. I don't care. I'd
probably spiral out of control pretty quickly if I didn't have a job to go to.
Oh, I do. Why do you think I have so many projects around the house?
Yeah.
I have projects everywhere, and I never finish them. And that's what got me through my MRI today. I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm in the MRI and you're hearing the rah, 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 rah. And I'm like, maybe they'll find something that I can actually finish a project. Maybe there's something in my head that they're like, take it out and it'll fix it. Hopefully. My stepdad would be happy. I got a million projects. I'm working on the brand new studio. I'm trying to rebuild my pressure washer. I'm trying to build. I built a welding table over there that I haven't even used yet once. I'm trying to clean up my stepdad's storage area. I got to do another. I got projects everywhere. I got an RC car that I can't really use because the dogs freak out, and I got an RC park. I got 4 acres I can build an RC park on. I got so much shit to do, it's not even funny. I just never finish it. It just keeps going.
Adderall.
Yeah. Well, you say I have ADD, right? Isn't that what you say I have?
You drink energy drinks all the time anyway, so.
I have to. If I cannot get out of bed unless I get out of bed, but then I got to take an energy drink to get to work. 20 years ago, I could work 20 hours straight every single day. So that's why I think there's something wrong with my head. I think something's going on in there that makes me not want to work anymore. But the doctor...
My professor coach are the same way. They're always, every time you see them, they've got one of those energy drinks in their hands.
Yeah. Dude, I had a plumbing company, and when we bought our house in 2010, I started remodeling the bathroom, and when I sold my house in 2020, it was still being remodeled. That's how bad I am. My doctors say it's because of my pain, and I know it's because of my pain. Because, so what I do is I get up, I'll go outside, and I'll work until noon. And by noon, I'm in so much pain, I have to come inside, I take my medications, and then I can't work for 4 hours, and I take a nap. And drunk uncle is like, Eddie, why do you fucking take a nap every day? It's like, because I have to. So that energy drink, whether right now, I go back and forth. Right now I'm on coffee, like Starbucks, little Frappuccinos, but then I'll go back to Monsters, and then I'll go to Bang energy drinks. Then I'll go to, otherwise I get used to them. I can drink a Bang energy drink and fucking go to sleep. There's my therapist said there's something wrong up here. It's the medicine they give me. And that's why my new doctor's trying to get me off of it. It's called, we talked about this before, it's called venlafaxine. He said it's the worst medicine. It is very hard to come off of. I quit it. I just totally quit it one day. And I noticed I'm cussing my stepdad out and shit like that. And I was like, dude, I got to get back on this medicine. When I told my doctor that I quit, he's like, dude, you can die just by flat quitting that medicine.
And what does it do?
Venlafaxine. It's venlafaxine, generic for Effexor. Let's look it up.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah, I was actually on Effexor in my early 20s.
Yeah.
And I wanted to stop taking it. And I think I made it about 2 weeks, and then it got so bad that I got drove to the doctor, and I couldn't even get out of the car. I was in the fetal position in the front seat. Couldn't even get out of the car.
Dude, yeah. Okay, so when I did stop it, I started seeing stuff in my eye. I started seeing stuff. I started getting these zaps, electrical feelings in my head. All kinds of stuff. What is my pain? So my pain level is, it's always 8 or 9. And so they used to give me 2 oxycodones, 2 Valium, and 2 morphine pills every 4 hours. That's my normal pain medication. And I got mad and I went to my doctor, and so I said, you need to take me off. I'm sick and tired of this. And he's like, well, you need to try weed. And so then I got on weed. But the problem is, when I do stuff in my yard, if I walk from here to my truck, ask Andy. Andy saw it when we were in my truck. So I put my scooter in the back of my truck. Just walking from the scooter to my front seat. Ask Andy what happened. He's like, Eddie, are you okay? I'm sitting there because I'm not out of breath because of the exercise. I'm out of breath, my doctor says, because the pain. That's how bad the pain is. It's like really bad. So it sucks. It sucks. So that's why I do what I do. That's why I drink every night, right? I either got to drink or get high because I don't want to fucking take the pain pills all the time. And they won't give it to me anymore.
I was thinking whenever you did come to visit and you went to class with me, it is something I definitely contemplated, that I was like thinking that you wouldn't be able to even function during the class, because I don't know if you could make it past the warm-up part. Because we even work up a sweat just, stretching and doing cardio even before we get to class, much less. So you got your warm-up, you got your stretching, then you've got class, and then you've got free rolling.
Yeah. Well,
you've got to try to conserve energy until the very end. And I remember one of the first times I was on video with you, you were cooking, and all you had to do was just walk to the refrigerator and back, and you were, out of breath just from doing that.
Yeah. It's not because my heart is, they're like, your heart is healthy as hell. I run out of breath because of the pain. They say it's the pain that causes you to run out of the breath. So when I used to do CrossFit, I had a trainer that adapted everything. And when I'd show up, so CrossFit, you got to go and you got to do an hour-long class, right, or whatever the class is. So what we would do is we go in there, and when I was married, my wife would do the class, and as he's teaching the class, he's like, "All right, Eddie, get on that fucking rowing machine." He had me row, even though I can't really move my feet that well. He had me row for an hour straight, and I had to hit a certain mileage, or else he'd get mad at me. And then we do CrossFit. But the cool part is back then I was on my oxycodone and my, they're giving me all this medications, and so I could do that. Nowadays, like my doctor, he gives me 10 oxycodone every 3 months. And that doesn't handle the pain. That's why you see me trying to find shit like this kratom, right? I'm trying to kratom, or the poppy seeds. I got the fucking poppy seeds because I got to find a way to take the pain away. I can't sleep at night because of the pain. I can't feel my legs from my knees down, but now I'm feeling pain in my knee. They say I have some new disease. We found out about it last night. It's called something, I don't know. It's rough. It's hard.
Maybe by the time that you get here, I'll have been taught leg locks, and we'll see how little you are able to feel.
Yeah. The only time I've ever been comfortable, I'm in the dentist chair. You know why I like going to my dentist? Because the way the chair, when you're leaning up, it's comfortable. After I had my back surgeries, this one nurse, she stuffed the pillows all the way around me. Like it was, I don't know how to explain it, but she stuffs it exactly perfect to where not my whole body is on the pillow, but it only lifts up like your side and stuff. That is the best thing for taking my pain away. And my wife used to hate it. She's like, "Why do you have 20 fucking pillows on the bed?" And I'm like, and every night, she knows why, because every night she'd have to push the pillows underneath me so I could sleep. But now it's the only way I could sleep.
Yep, I sleep with 5. 3 behind me and 2 between my legs.
Have I tried a TENS unit? They're talking about that. I haven't tried that yet, HDRAS. So, a pregnant girl came into your work to buy a bubble and a torch. Okay, what's a bubble, drunk? I talked to her for 20 minutes and she left with treatment info and the name of my doctor. Prescribed your Subutex.
Oh, so I know it's Subutex. I don't know what a bubble is, but most likely it sounds like something to smoke. Something that's not.
Yeah.
Out of.
Real quick, so Matt says pain scale is completely different from a disabled person to an able-bodied person because it's dealt with every day. The pain that makes you a disabled person stay in bed would kill an able-bodied person, and you know what? That's true. I remember, so I broke my pelvis. I fractured my pelvis, and the doctor, I was like, "Hey, I got a new weird pain," and the doctor's like, "Well, what is it?" And I was like, I don't know. It's in my knee because I spinal bifida, so my pain is my nerves don't work very well. And he's like, well, how strong is the pain? And I was like, it's my everyday pain. They found out I fractured my pelvis. So a broken pelvis to me is my daily pain level. So if you can imagine breaking your pelvis, that's what I feel every day. And to me, it's just like, it's another fucking day. So my doctor says whenever I feel pain, I have to go to the hospital because my pain level is way the fuck up here. That was another thing that always made me fight with my wife. She'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sore and it hurts. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. You don't have fucking pain. That's a problem. So if you ever date a disabled person, gonna give you guys a hint. That's gonna be one of the problems. It could be make you feel like it's the worst pain in your life, and it probably is to you. But you say that to a handicapped person, and they're like, shut the fuck up. But to you, that's the problem. Pain levels are different in different people. Try BioFreeze lotion. They prescribed me this new lotion. It doesn't work.
It puts the lotion on his skin or else it gets the hose again.
They gave me some kind of lotion. It's called 1% something. It's a cream. And I'm supposed to put it on 4 times a day on my knee. It doesn't fucking work. You know what helps? My marijuana cream. This works better than anything else. My marijuana works better than anything else. Yeah, Andy knows. Andy's wife had a lot of issues. So, it sucks. And it really sucks when you're in pain. Because, when you're in pain, at least when I'm in pain, I'm a fucking dick. I'm a big time dick. And the worst part is, I put myself in there. So, when I was first married, I told you guys earlier, my wife only got 4 hours a week. So I had to work as a plumber. I would go out and dig fucking ditches, That's the bread and butter of plumbing. People say, how can you go do and run a snake down somebody's sewer? Well, yeah, I may make $150 for running my snake down there. But when I find roots and I say, oh, guess what? You need a new sewer. It's going to be $5,000. Well, that $5,000 sewer, you're just paying for my knowledge. I would pay the guys $200 or $300, to dig the trench, and I dig it with them. The parts were $400 or $500. The permit with the city was $200 or $300. The other $4,000 was all fucking profit. That's why I did it. Look at me right now. I'm a man. I can't let somebody come into my property and build my studio. I'm doing it myself. I fell from a ladder the other day because I'm stupid. And I won't let some other man come work on my fucking shit. It's a man thing. I don't know. At least, or it's an Eddie thing. Do you guys do that? Are you guys the kind of person that you can't let somebody else come and work on your house? That's me. I don't know. Salon pause helps too. Your back.
Remember the King of the Hill episode? Where
the mold?
Peggy Hill talks Hank into having somebody to come over to work on his house, and Ladybird tries to attack him.
Oh yeah, the water heater. It was, and he's like, "Oh my god, my dog is racist." Yeah, I remember that. My wife used to do that shit.
He just couldn't. His dog could sense it. He just did not like somebody else doing something. Because I think he was hurt at the time. That's why they had to call somebody over.
No, was it that or was it he couldn't figure it out? I forget.
I think he was hurt.
I got you.
Remember?
Yeah, but see, Andy, you're a tech guy. Okay, so Andy's a tech guy. He says, I have absolutely no issue paying somebody. What if when you were married, when your wife was still around, and she said, hey, Andy, I'm going to go to Best Buy and go to the fucking Geek Squad and have them fix my computer. Wouldn't that piss you off? That's like your manhood.
I need new RAM installed. I'm going to go to the Geek Squad. You're like, I can change your RAM right now. No, I don't trust you. I want to go to the Geek Squad.
Right? Okay, so here's another point. So changing the oil in my car. In my truck, changing the oil is a simple thing, right? But for me, it's really hard because you gotta get up. I'm short. I got to get up on the ladder. Then you got to walk down. Then you got to get up. You got to get down. You got to go underneath the truck. When I change my oil, I can't do shit for 3 days. I'm in pain for 3 days. But do I pay the 40, 50, 60, or, well, what is it? I don't even know what it is anymore. Do I pay the $100 to go down to Jiffy Lube? No. I'll do it myself. My stepdaddy's like, oh, I'm going to go take my truck to get the oil change. I'm like, the fuck you are? I'll do it. Yeah, that's the one he's talking about, Killed It. That's the exact one he's talking about. I can't do it. Like, we got our satellite antenna, right? And we needed to put it up an extra 30 feet taller. My stepdad's like, oh, we'll go hire a guy to build it. I'm like, why? I welded together a 30-foot long thing and I put it up. I was in pain for a week. I'm just a dumbass, I guess. I don't know. Plus, I don't have money to pay people like that. I'd rather spend my money on cameras. Digital shit. The Amazon drivers know me well. Let's put it that way. And everybody's going to say, don't buy from Amazon, Jeff Bezos. You know what? I'm not a cancel culture person. If you can give me something and sell me something like I want, then you earned my money. If Alyssa Milano comes out with a movie that I want to see, I'm going to go watch it. I'm not going to not watch it because Alyssa Milano's in it. That's just the way I am. I don't do cancel culture. I'll still talk shit about the bitch, though. Right? Drunk Uncle, if you found out your vape pen was made by liberals, which it probably is, would you stop using your vape pen?
Well, technically it's made by communists.
Oh, there you go. That too.
Except for this part. This part's American made, but generally all of this stuff, even the batteries, commies.
Yeah. And by the way, guys, just so you know, if just because it says made in America doesn't mean it wasn't built in. It's built in America. Doesn't mean the parts did not come from China.
Generally, I see designed in California, manufactured in Shenzhen, China.
Yeah, shit like that.
So they come up with the aspect and all the schematics, and then they send it over to be mass produced.
Really? You had to buy fencing supplies from Amazon because the local Home Depot didn't carry it? Yeah. I like Alyssa Milano in Embrace of the Vampire. I don't know if I've seen that one. Jeff Bezos will definitely...
My Name is Earl. She was in a couple of My Name is Earl episodes.
I don't know. I know she was in Charmed because my ex-wife always watched Charmed. And the only reason I would watch it is because, like, I don't know which one of the girls... I think it was Alyssa Milano. They always wore, like, no bra. And their nipples were always popping out. And I was like, hey, nipples, okay. I can sit here and watch this with you. I'm a perv. I'm a guy. Sorry if I offended you, ladies. You know. Look at Snooki. Snooki's likes to look at guys' asses all the time. If a guy walked around and had a bulge, I'm sure... Isn't that why girls watch football? To see the men in tights? Oh. Anyways.
For some reason, he even likes my butt. I don't even have one. It's just bone and skin over top of the bone.
I think Snooki's is the female version of me. I like all booties pretty much. I'll look at every girl's ass. I'll check out every girl's ass. I like some flat ones. I like some big ones. I like some middle ones. Who knows? Do I go to... I have Disney Plus. I'm not going to lie. I watch the Avenger movies and stuff like that. Like I said, if you can entertain me, you're going to get my money. I'm not going to cancel you. That's like a little fucking kid. I'm not going to be your friend anymore because you're friends with fucking Jeff. I don't do that shit. It's just not me. It's just not me. Although I did stop drinking Coke. I went to Pepsi because of Coke. I sometimes do it. It depends on how I'm feeling that day.
I remember when that happened that I would rather there not be sodas in my shop at all. But because I don't drink sodas. But then again, you know, it makes $1 here or $2 there. But I remember there was one point I was like, you better not buy any Coke products and put them in my refrigerator.
Right? You know.
Then they eventually started showing back up again, and I would say something every once in a while. Then it just got to.
Yeah, like so there's one movie I can say that I didn't watch. Everybody said it was good, but I didn't watch it because Robert De Niro was in it. What was that recent movie that he made? It was on Netflix movie that everybody.
The Irishman?
Yeah, The Irishman. I didn't watch that because of Robert De Niro.
It probably took me a week to finish that movie. It was such a long ass movie, but I remember it being good.
God damn, my eye is really fucking bothering me tonight. Is it really good? I just couldn't watch it because of Robert De Niro. So, but I generally do like look for American-made products if I can when I'm at the store. I do try it, except for whiskey, of course, because Crown Royal is the best.
Where's Crown made at? Canada?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's made here too, but it's a product of Canada. Okay, so Jamie and Deborah says Pepsi has fetal tissue in it. It enhances the flavor. They say I'm a Coke drinker though. Doesn't mean they don't put fetal tissue. See, that's the problem. Do they really? I don't know. That's hard to believe. I could be wrong. Who knows what the fuck they put in this shit? Mike Jones is like, I'm not supporting no liberal BS. Well, think about it. Any computer you use is probably made by a liberal, right? Whether you have Apple or Android, they're still fucking liberal phones. They're still liberal companies, aren't they?
Yeah, and you're on YouTube right now, and most likely your shirt was made in Taiwan, and your shoes are made in China, and
my San Jose Shark shirt, my Pendleton, you know. Gilded says that's totally true. Interesting. Matt says my brother went to. I got to meet Matt Rogers' brother. He's pretty cool too. Dude, I don't know. To me, it's like, like they say, don't go buy at Walmart. You know what? Unfortunately, it's cheaper. Amazon is cheaper. I live in the middle of nowhere. In order for me to get to a store to where I can buy anything, I can go 20 minutes up the road, but everything's twice as much. I can order for Amazon. They bring it to my fucking house, and it's it's 2/3 the price of what I would pay. So I'm sorry, I'm ordering shit from Amazon. It is what it is, you know.
Yep.
The problem is, just Amazon and them. Yes, they are a problem because they're, how should I say it? Like YouTube and stuff, they're censoring us, right? Walmart. So here's the deal: the Walmart maybe ruined small town America, but there's nothing we can do about it anymore. There's nothing we can do about it anymore. If you need a product, right, and you're living on a budget, I live on a budget. Am I gonna go pay $3 more? If I can go to a local store and only pay like 2 cents more, 3 cents more, then I'm cool with that. 10 cents more. But when it's dollars differences, you can't do that over a lifetime. You have to do what you got to do, folks. It's called survival. If I was a millionaire, would I buy every single fucking thing I could from local companies only? Hell yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not a millionaire. I can't do that. So
I personally don't shop at Walmart, but I do order from Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that makes me a hypocrite, but yeah, for some reason I just can't. And technically, I'm not allowed in my Walmart. I haven't been since I was like 16 years old.
Well, I guess review. I don't have integrity. I try. I really do. I definitely try and buy local, but when you live in a little town, when there's nothing you can get anywhere except for fucking Walmart, I guess I don't have integrity. Review. I don't. I freaking my dog food is like $100 and some odd bucks a month. You got it. You got to do what you got to do. I don't do Target. The reason why I don't do Target is It started out with Oreo Express because he's like, Target's letting fucking adult pedophiles go into the girls' bathroom. That's when I wouldn't shop Target anymore. So, you know,
we're all hypocrites in our own way because
we are.
We're all sitting here on YouTube with no doubt a device that was made in a different country by communists.
Right. Well, I mean, like, so I do try and shop local. Like when I want to get my flag, I went to a local shop. I could order online for $50. This guy's going to charge me $300. I went to the guy online. My shirts, I would used to go and get from a local person. It's just hard. My shoes, I don't go to the mall to buy my shoes. Well, I have to now because the shoes that I have to have special shoes for my feet. And I used to go to a skate shop in Madera, and the guy can't get the shoes that I need anymore. So I have to go to the mall to get it. I try to, but it's hard. I thought South Park is conservative. I watched South Park.
They're definitely not liberal.
Yeah. I mean, King of the Hill and Beavis and Butthead, you know for sure are conservative. Mike Judge is real conservative. He's gotten in trouble for it. Yeah, so Matt Rogers, we need to talk because I am gonna start raising chickens here. I found out you can keep chickens in the cold up here. So when spring comes around, I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of chickens in a chicken coop, and I'm gonna start feeding my dogs raw food. Matt and his brother were like, Eddie, you need to feed your dogs raw food. So I'm trying to get to it. What shirt are you trying to show off a shirt? What shirt is that?
No, I was just looking to try to prove a little point with my new rash guard. And it is made in China, but there's nowhere else that I would be able to find a Nate Diaz rash guard. So literally, if I wanted a Nate Diaz rash guard, this was the only option. It had to be bought from there.
Yeah.
I think it was shipped from somewhere within the United States, but still something. I mean, it's marked as China.
Yeah. I mean, like, think about this. So if I go into Oakhurst right here in the town, there is no local grocery store. You got Vaughn's, and you have Rayleigh's or Rally's or whatever the fuck it's called. That's it. You know? If I'm doing a project, like I'm building the studio, right? It was like $5,000, okay, in parts. I had to buy it down from Lowe's, because if I went to the Ace Hardware, I looked up all the prices. It was going to be $10,000 compared to $5,000. I'm sorry, if a $5,000 difference, I can't afford to buy it all from the local company. I just can't. You know, it is. It just is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna get the chickens, but when you get them young, good night, HD Raz. When you get the baby chicks, you can't get them. You can't put them in the freezing cold. So I'll get them when springtime comes around. Anyways, sorry people. I guess I'm not. I don't have. Oh, what was the word again now?
What?
What did Restream say? Integrity. Was it integrity? I guess I don't have integrity. I try. I'm nowhere near perfect at all. Right?
Nobody is.
You know?
Nobody is.
That's how they get you guys. Yeah, integrity weed. That's how they get you, folks. You know? They raise the prices up so much that you have to go to Walmart and Costco and shit like that to get your stuff. You're screwed. Unless you're a multi-millionaire where you can afford to pay the higher prices. And it sucks. It really does. But what are you going to do nowadays? What are you going to do? You found some Russian chicken coops plants that have 4 traps built on all sides? Interesting. But yeah, I'm going to try and raise some chickens. And try and start doing the raw meat for the dogs. See how they like it. No way.
You
Hold on.
have to buy a rooster too.
Yeah, you gotta have in order to get the eggs, and yeah, I think you have to have a rooster.
So does like the rooster just fuck all day, every day to be able to collect all those eggs?
No, you don't see if the rooster. So from what I understand, you have to have the rooster to make the chicken to produce the eggs. However, you do not want the rooster to fertilize the eggs because you don't want fertilized eggs. You want the non-fertilized eggs, if I think right. Hold on a second, guys. So, we got to say a prayer for Irving. He says, Irving, he's in here quite often. Irving S. Says, can you say a prayer for me? They're taking me to the hospital. My joints are all stoned up. Of course we can say a prayer for you, Irving. Everybody think about Irving. Irving, he's a disabled person like me. He lives up in the Bay Area, and unfortunately, he's going to the hospital right now. So everybody, he's probably not watching. Of course, we're doing it right now. So everybody, think about Irving. Say a little prayer for him. I'm not good at this stuff. Irving, I hope you're safe in the hospital. Give the doctor strength to take loving care of you. May all your nurses be hot. And hopefully they give you some good pain meds, dude. But anyways, yeah, everybody say a prayer for Irving. Hopefully he's doing okay. Here, we'll take a shot for you, Irving. Here's a shot for you, buddy.
I'm still working on my prayer skills.
Yeah.
I've only said prayer out loud like the past probably 15 years.
Yeah, we used to have a real good person that came on here and said prayers, but they were questionable people.
Yeah. Professor's really good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. Sorry to hear that, Irving. If you're watching, I don't know. I kind of like hospitals, but I've lived in hospitals most of my life for all my surgeries. So, it is what it is, And I think that's kind of the way I am. I've spent so much time in the hospital that I'm always used to being taken care of, and I'm always been the center of attention. So I think that's why I have to be the center of attention.
Oh, it's like a period for See, I was thinking when I was watching Crowder, it was either today or yesterday, where they done the Good Ranchers thing. Like something popped across my mind, like, how are these chickens fucking laying eggs like all the time? Like that rooster must be busy.
Yeah.
So that makes sense that they're.
Yeah, and I was researching this last night or the night before, and like some of the chickens, like this lady's like, well, you need to feed one raw egg to your dog for every 10 pounds they are. And I'm like, I thought you raised the chickens to feed them the chicken meat. Because Matt was like, no, I cut up the gizzards and I cut up everything, and that's what I give my dogs. So I gotta do a lot more research on this. That's why I want to talk to Matt and his brother, because they are totally into raw food for their dogs. And you know what, Donnie, when I come home, I love all my dogs, right? But there's just a real special heart. Donnie is really close to me. I take him everywhere. So when I don't take him and I come home, I'm like, where's Donnie? That's the first thing I do when I come home. It's like, where's Donnie? I don't say, where's Panda or where's Brownie? And I love these two girls to death, right? But I want to make sure all three of these dogs live as long as they can, because I love my dogs. So I'm going to try this raw food diet for him. Like, Donnie had a little spot on him. I took him to the vet the other day. I didn't have to take him to the vet. I probably could have just been like, it's just a spot on his leg. But I took him to the vet because I want to make sure he's healthy. When something happens with Panda, I fucking take her to the vet because I want to make sure she's healthy. You know who's never been to the vet once? Come here, Brownie. This girl right here.
Yeah.
I don't mean she's never been to the vet. I mean she's never been to the vet because she's sick. She's got every time she goes to the vet to get her shots, they're like, oh, she's so healthy. Knock on wood. Brownie she's never gotten sick. She's never gotten hurt. She goes for her shots and that's it.
Brownie's most likely a mutt, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a mutt, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, Yeah.
Those are the best dogs to have for, I've had 2 English bulldogs. Bubba's a mutt. He's outlived both of the English bulldogs.
Yeah.
He never has to go to the vet.
Yeah, she's never been sick. The only time she goes to the vet is for her shots and when she got fixed. That's the only time. Panda, on the other hand, she's a little bitch. She always fights. She's a fighter. Like, she's afraid of everybody, but, like, she would start fights with my pit bull all the time. All the time I had to take her. Mike says, here's some good knowledge. Whatever we confess, ask for forgiveness for in the flesh, we now won't be mentioned for us in the next life. Yeah, that's the great thing about being Catholic. You could murder somebody as long as next day you go to the priest and you go to confession. Like, you're sitting there, and I remember I'm like, fuck, can I really say this to Father Fitzgerald? Okay, because they have a wall and a screen, but the priests know who you are. They know who you are. You never go to the vet, not even for teeth. No dry food, no bad teeth. I gotcha. I love my vet, though. I got a good vet. She's really cool. Freaking. Although she did get mad one time because she's, I was like, well, they're like, did you do anything? Because Panda got hurt at night. And one time we went to the ER vet and we hated him. So I waited till the next day to take Panda in. And they're like, so what'd you do for her pain last night? I was like, well, I kind of gave her some weed. Oh, my vet kind of got pissed at me for that one. So, amen, Mike. Yeah, she's had, my pit bull tore her up like twice bad. And the problem is, like, whenever, it always happened when I was sick and when my wife would feed the dogs. And I'd be like, look, when you feed the dog, because we had 5. We had a Rottweiler, Pit Bull, or Rottweiler German Shepherd mix. We had a St. Bernard. We had Panda. We had Brownie. And we had a Pit Bull. These dogs are not, you don't put a Pit Bull and a Rottweiler together, right? But we did. Because they all worked great together. Because of the way I fed them. They all ate right next to each other. As long as I sat there and watched them, they're fine. But Brownie is a little fucking bitch. And she goes from bowl to bowl to bowl. And so she would go to Panda's bowl, and Panda would growl at Brownie. And then the pit bull was Brownie's best friend, and she'd be like, don't do that to my fucking friend. And so the pit bull would fight with Brownie, or with Panda, every fucking time. And I'd tell my wife, I'd be like, look, when you feed the dogs, you got to make sure Brownie doesn't go from bowl to bowl. And sure enough, she wouldn't do that, because she didn't like, she's the one who wanted all the dogs, but she didn't want to take care of them. That's the problem with people. They want a dog and they don't want to fucking take care of it. I'm the opposite. I take care of all my dogs. Yeah, she's a little thief, dude. She is. Yeah, I'm talking to, she even knows I'm talking about her. Okay, come on. Yes.
Hey, Brown.
Say hi, drunk uncle.
Sweet girl.
My stepdad says she runs the fucking property, and she does. I know you do. No, you're not getting back up here, chick. She runs this. Yeah.
She's like, I want to.
Yep. Yeah, when I feed the dogs, they I make them sit. So the deal is with me, when I feed the dogs, I say their name, I hold the bowl up, and then they sit. If they don't sit, they don't get their food until they sit. And then you put it in front of them. They have their own space. When I had 5 dogs, they all got fed in exact order every single time and in an exact position. So they all knew which bowl was theirs, and they all have a different looking bowl. Like Panda's bowl is this round white thing. Brownie's bowl is a freaking egg pan. Donnie's bowl is a much bigger fucking saute pan or whatever the hell it is. It's all different, so they know the different bowls. All right, let's see. They're all on the floor because I'm too lazy to pick them up. Look, so see Panda's bowl. Panda has her bowl. Brownie's got her bowl, which looks different. And now they think they're going to eat.
Yeah, you messed up the routine by picking up the bowls.
And then there's Donnie's bowl. They each have their own separate bowl, so they know whose is whose. Yeah, Brownie likes to bite the feds, huh? Come on, one more time, you can come up. Okay, no, never mind. And then, you know who really was the boss was my cat. When I used to have a cat. I know, I picked up your bowls. I'm going to have to go in a minute now just for that.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, then. Oh, my... Ugh. No, you can't kiss my face.
I told you she wanted to.
Right? She does whatever she wants here. She's in charge. Anyways. And I hate that. You know why I hate that? Not because she does that noise. It's because my ex-wife taught her that. Yeah, she would do that to her. She wouldn't give her the food unless she did that. So now she does that all the time. I'm like, shut the fuck up. She does it to my stepdad. My stepdad says she walks in his house and she goes over there and she howls. And if he doesn't give her a treat, she'll look around for something. So he's all, sometimes I think she comes in and drinks water just to say, fuck you, I took something anyways. That's what my stepdad says about Brownie. She's got him wrapped around his little finger. When I built the fence, my stepdad's like, make sure you leave a hole with Brownie so she can come get treats from me. He literally told me that. I had to leave a hole in the fence so she could get out, so she could go get the treats. He loves this little... He loves all of them, but he loves her the most. Huh. Oh, I'm sorry your puppy passed away, Jamie. Anyways. Well, shit. We didn't do any news tonight. Let's do it real quick. People can't say I didn't do the news then. What are we talking about here? Oh, let's talk about McClintock. Who cares? I can't even read right now. That's the problem. I'm going to do the one that you like the most. And here he's leaving. Conor McGregor. You hear there might be another fight, drunk uncle.
Yeah. Be the dumbest idea he's ever come up with.
Nate Diaz or Conor McGregor?
Conor McGregor.
For fighting Nate Diaz again?
Fighting anybody, but you found something where they're trying to do the trilogy?
Yeah. Here, hold on. It was on Yahoo News. Let me put it up on the screen. Here we go. Nate Diaz, officially a free agent, but door open for Conor McGregor trilogy in the UFC. It says Diaz fought out his UFC contract September 10th when he defeated Tony Ferguson in their impromptu welterweight thing. Diaz hasn't been a free agent until now. That's because the UFC waived a negotiating period Monday night, according to his manager. While Diaz is now free to explore his options, Rosenfeld said the door remains open for a return to the UFC specifically to fight Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, he's wiry. So he'll only come back to the UFC if he can fight Conor McGregor again, is what they're saying. What it seems like they're saying.
I mean, that would be that would definitely be something that I would want to see. And the good thing for Conor is that Nate does not focus a lot on leg, and with his tibia or whatever being broke, if he was to go up against anybody that's has strong leg kicks, I mean, I was telling you this soon after we watched that fight where his leg got broken, that guy that works on our Bitcoin machine, he's like, he'll never fight again. And I was like, well, what about boxing? And he was like, no, that's his pivot foot. He's like, he would be a complete moron if he even came back to try to fight again. He's like, they're just going to go after that leg and destroy it.
I gotcha.
But Nate Diaz doesn't really do leg kicks.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that. Definitely.
I gotcha. Right on.
But I think Conor McGregor coming back is either a very stupid mistake or a rumor. because I've heard rumors of several people that he's supposed to come back and fight.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's going to happen. He needs to get into coaching. And plus his heyday is over. Like, if I were Dana White, I wouldn't even let him back. He's like lost his like last 3 fights under most UFC contracts. Like, you're done in the UFC if you lose that many fights back to back.
Yeah, I guess so. It's just, I don't know. Who knows?
He's Conor McGregor.
Yeah, he's Conor McGregor.
McGregor. Proper 12 whiskey.
He's wiry. He's wiry. I don't know. What? Oh, that's from, that's from The Replacements. See, you don't watch movies, so I can't do that with you. The Replacements with Keanu Reeves. That was a pretty good movie. The fucking, they got some guy from the UK is the kicker, for the field goals and shit like that, and the extra point attempts. This dude's on the field fucking smoking. They're like, John Madden's like, is he smoking a cigarette?
All you gotta do is kick the ball, and why not?
Right? Fucking A. And he was like the guy that was like betting against the game or something like that. But that, I think he used the word, he's white, or he's all, I'm white. I can't even say it now. Wiry. However they do it. I wish I had an accent. Which is funny I say because I do have an accent. I have an American accent. You go to Japan or Europe. Oh, you're an American, I can tell by the way you talk. I love the way you talk, and I walk my walk. And what is that? Saturday Night Live. Doo-doo-doo.
You can tell by the way I move my limb. I walk, man. No, I talk. Everything. I don't know the words, but
yeah, neither do I. I'll pretend to sing the song though. You have.
Yeah, I can definitely mumble it.
Right. Good night, Lillian. But yeah, I think we're gonna get going. I'm gonna feed the dogs. I didn't really eat today. Maybe that's why my eye is fucking up on me. But
Yeah, I need some food.
Maybe. I'm gonna make some chicken. So here's what I do. I got my cast iron pan. So I got my chicken. I cut it up into little quarters. You put it in the pan. You put green beans in there. Panta, stop. You put the green beans in there. You saute, or you cook. I don't know. You cook up the chicken real good in the cast iron pan. Then you mix it with some salsa, some chili. Stop. And some Mexican cream. It's not sour cream. It's Mexican cream. It's different shit. That's what I'm gonna have for dinner right now. I'm gonna cook it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. So anyways, thank y'all for being here. And dude, guys, think about Irving. He's on his way to the hospital, so that's not cool. But yeah, in fact, I'm texting him again right now. So anyways, guys, you guys have a good night. Sorry we didn't do the news tonight. I was tired. It's going to start snowing here, so I'm going to have snow for the next, 3 days straight. I'm stuck at my house.
Yeah, it's a pretty slow day for news from the little bit that I've watched.
Yeah, I saw something about Bo Bright. Who knows? So, yeah, they say, Mike Jones, they say you're supposed to do the staying alive for CPR. And then you're supposed to breathe. What is it, 4 pumps and then a breath? Something like that? That's what she said. Okay, I'm going to feed you right now. Huh?
That's from The Office. Stand alive.
No, but they actually tell you that. It's like a real thing. That's a real thing.
100 people per minute.
Yeah. What, shithead? Dude, last night Donnie tried to take over the show. Now Brownie's trying to take over the show. What the heck? All right, guys. Well, you have a good night. Thank you for being here. We'll catch you later.